Hey, it's Dave from Chaos Guitars, and this is my 5 in 5. Today on my 5 in 5, we're talking guitar body styles. I've been wanting to do this one for a while. So many body styles out there. So I'm going to give you my favorite 5, and I'm actually going to do these in order this time from 5 to 1. Now, I'll warn you ahead of time, you're not going to see Strats, you're not going to see Les Pauls, you're not going to see Tellys. That's not my thing. I grew up in the late 80s and 90s with heavy metal, so you're going to see a lot of pointy stuff. But that's why it's my 5 in 5 and not yours. If you want to do Strats and Tellys and all that, then you buy all the equipment to do your own web show and do your own. And then I'll come like your stuff. So, you ready? Here we go. Let me get the timer going. Okay, and we are off. Let me set this here. Okay, so number 5 for me is, I said you weren't going to see Strats. I'm not big on pick guards on the front of guitars, but I do like me a Super Strat, and that's why our first series is a Super Strat. Difference is I cut the horns out here because I wanted something a little bit different, a little bit showier. I know it's kind of hard to see. It's a little dark here, but basically Strat body style, I like the pointy points instead of the rounded, and I don't like the pick guard on the front. So this is my number 5. Number 4 used to be higher up on the list for me, but I've lost a lot of faith in this company over the years. However, still one of my favorite styles, the Warlock. Love BC Rich Warlocks. Love this body style. Love this headstock. Just a very aggressive guitar, which I'm all about. I grew up with bands like Wasp and things like that, and they always, old Motley Crue, they always played that kind of stuff, and it was cool, it was aggressive. It basically said, hey, we came to get shit done. That's why I like those. Next, number 3 on my list is, now, growing up, we called these destroyers. Now they call them explorers. They still call them destroyers. I don't know what you want to call it. When I grew up, an explorer to me was what my number 1 is, which I'll show you. But anyway, the explorer, destroyer, whatever, this body style, I really like this. It's a big guitar. I'm a big guy, so it sits well with me. Again, they're aggressive. I like that Jackson took those and kind of pointed them up and changed them a little bit. I like the way they do theirs. So that's a big one for me. I really do like those. Number 2 on my list, and you can't play metal without one of these. Now, I'm a big fan of the King V, again because it's bigger, but let's face it, you can't go wrong with a Randy Rhoads V. It's Randy Rhoads, and you just can't go wrong with it. But everybody and their grandmother owns Randy Rhoads Vs and plays them. I got a bunch of them here. I love them, absolutely love them. But I've always been more of a King V type of guy. I like the BC Rich, what do they call them, the JRVs or whatever. I like the Dean Vs, love them. The only ones I'm not a huge fan of are the Gibson Vs with the rounded points. I have a Dean V with a rounded point, which I like, but I was always more pointy kind of thing. So that's my number 2. And my number 1 has always been my number 1 and will always be my number 1, is what we used to call the Explorer. Now, I don't know, it's Gus G made him kind of more famous with Jackson. So a lot of people call them the Gus G body style. Call it whatever you want. I don't care. Star shape, they call them the Gus G body style. I still call them Explorers. But, whatever. I like that body style. It's aggressive. It's I fell in love with that with Chris Holmes from Wasp, one of my favorite guitar players. He had the Blood Splatter one. He had the Harley Davidson one. That's where I really fell in love with those. So that's my 5 and 5. Those are my favorites. What are your favorites? Put them down there. Look, I've owned just about everything. I've owned vintage Strats, Les Pauls. I've owned junk Les Pauls and junk Strats. Tellys. I have a Telly. You'll see it sitting behind me right now. I love them all. I truly do. But this is what I enjoy playing because they're aggressive, because they say, hey, I didn't come here to fuck around. Leave your comments, put in your comments what you like, and we did it again in under 5. Let us know what you think. Later.